I can either build you up or pull you down. What am I? Moses says to Pharaoh, "Let my people go." No, there's a plague of blood. Let my people go. Again, no, there's a plague of frogs. Again, let my people go. No, there's a plague of lice. And so on and so forth. There are 10 plagues of this. Initially, the verses say that Pharaoh hardened his own heart. And then the verses change slightly and say that God hardened Pharaoh's heart. In fact, God even promises Moses that he's going to harden Pharaoh's heart. Pharaoh hardening his own heart, I get it. He's a nasty character. But God hardening Pharaoh's heart? How is that fair? Where is the free will in that? Rav Dessler explains that what we see here is actually something that happens the whole time. Initially, Pharaoh hardened his own heart. He ignored the cries of the people. He became cruel and callous and nasty, and his heart turned to stone. But then, something else kicked in. Habit. True, initially Pharaoh did choose to act that way, but then after a few times, he got stuck in a bad habit. Habits are a double-edged sword. Yes, they can be used for negativity, but they can also be used for good things, for positivity. Departing with your money might be a really hard thing to do. It's hard to give away your money to charity, but if you do it again and again and again, it becomes a habit and it becomes easy. I'm going to share a personal story that happened to me when I was younger. I had a bad habit of making excuses. It's not my fault. The dog ate my homework. The cake was like that when I found it. The bus was late. It's not my fault. Initially, it was quite liberating. It was a handy tool. But slowly, I became trapped. My heart was hardened and it just was the first thing to come out of my lips was an excuse. In fact, this one time, I was 17. I had an important homework to hand in. The teacher asked me if I'd done it. I hadn't. And the first thing to come out of my mouth was, "I handed it in last week, miss. Sorry, you must have lost it." I left the class thinking nothing about it. My excuse paid off. She didn't punish me. I'm good. A few days later, I was walking out of the car park of the school and I see this teacher emptying out the contents of her car, looking all frazzled, so stressed out. And she sees me and she calls me over. And I go over and speak to her and she says, "Shira, I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do. I've looked everywhere. I haven't slept. I've looked in my whole house. I've looked in the staff room. I've emptied out my car. I cannot find your essay that you did for me." To this day, I still feel guilty about that moment. But that moment was the inspiration that I needed to start building a brand new habit. Bit by bit by bit, a habit of taking responsibility. Step by step, bit by bit, day by day, it will become easy. Be great, be a giver, and build habits of giving. Shabbat Shalom.